Hey y'all, it's your girl Jamaica coming live and in color. All right, so let me tell y'all, I've been doing my 3-day masterclass. This was day 2. Tomorrow's gonna be day 3. Passions, look, passions, principles, passions, and persistence. And the first day was all about the principles that we live by. It was a really good day, y'all. I can't even lie. But talking about principles, talking about how um the principles are the things that guide who you are, that help you to support and become your best version of who you are. Y'all already know it's Jamaica, right? I'm thinking I'm saying that, y'all. I'm so turned. I'm so excited. Either way, get my head right. So basically talk about your principles and how a lot of times people sit up here, and when we think about different I don't think a lot of people even think about principles. But for me, principles are going to be the things that guide you in your life, right? So your values, your morals, your ethics, your attitudes, these all shape your principles and who you say that you are, who you want to be, who you desire to be. It's your fundamental truths. And so when I was talking about the ethics and values, morals, different things like that, mainly what I started to think about was most of the time when we talk about these words, we talk about these things, most people are only thinking about business. So when you're talking about ethics, you're either talking about business, you're talking about law, you're talking about um sometimes I guess you could say medical and stuff like that. Like these is it right or is it wrong? What we're doing is it determined to be right? How far can we go before it becomes, it becomes muddy waters and it's wrong? And when you talk about your values, what makes you who you are, and how you move the way that you move, all these great things. And so I was like, personally, I don't think people really think about their principles, their founding, these founding things that help them to shape their life, and help them to understand that life is this way because this is my belief, this is my thought system, this is how I process things. And so I definitely wanted to have this master class so we can understand that our principles are what shapes the reality that we find ourselves living in. And so in the class, I talked a little bit about certain things that we have said or that has been said to us that help us to understand our principles. So some of those things can be, I think some of the examples that I provided, one was like, no sex before marriage, right? This is something that people say all the time. Um, I'm trying to think real quick. What was another one? Um, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Oh, work hard to play hard, maybe. That's not one that I use, but I feel like that's something that people say. What else? Don't do drugs. I don't know. Oh, the golden rule. So that was one of the ones that I used. So treat others the way you want to be treated. Or even in the Bible is love thy brother as love your brother as you love yourself, or whatever else. All these things are things that become principles in our lives, right? And things that we repeat. We hear it, we repeat it. It becomes a mantra. It becomes words that we live by. So let's go with, excuse me, treat others the way you want to be treated. And I talked about this in the thing, and I may put up some clips and different things here, some words, audios to what happened, what transpired. But that was just one that stuck out to me. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And then of course the biblical one, love thy brother, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. And some people transfer the word neighbor into brothers and whatever else. And I think what we don't do, what we don't think about, is this idea that um yes, we treat all these people amazing because we come at them, people who employ this as a true principle and staple and uh pillar in their life, right? That's the word I was looking for, pillar. People who come at it as this is a pillar of my life. This is a foundational thing that I believe in, that there's nothing else that you can say or do that's going to change me or turn me away from these ideas. So consciously we take this in, we repeat it. Like I said, it becomes a mantra. A mantra is something, is a word or phrase that you repeat over and over and over again in order to get it into your subconscious. And so it then goes into the subconscious and it flourishes into its own thing. Remember, this is like roots. And if you ever have dealt with planting flowers, you have this one beautiful flower that comes out in the top of the ground, but the roots are going to be a little bit more chaotic because The roots grow how they need to. It finds different sources, whether it's the moisture, or it's some type of nutrients or whatever else. It is wild, right? Kind of like this hair mouse. So, um, what we don't understand is that these fundamental truths can both be positive, right? Which is where we get our values, how we look at things as right or wrong, our ethics, positive, and it can be negative, even though we take it in as of experience. So if we're saying treat others the way you want to be treated, and you're looking at a situation and someone has done something to you, maybe they may I don't know what it is. We're gonna leave it open. A person did something to you, you did not like it, but instead of you addressing it straightforward and say, hey, I don't like this, don't do that again, XYZ, you try to give them the benefit of a doubt. But what I'm coming to a conclusion in life is that by giving a person a benefit of a doubt, you're giving them a benefit while doubting yourself. And I don't think a lot of people think of it that way. You're doubting yourself, and you're making it seem as though you may provide yourself with these thoughts that, oh, maybe they don't know any better, maybe this is my warning to them, but you're benefiting them with the opportunity of trying you again, right? That F around to find out type of vibe. So you're providing them with a benefit while dialing yourself. And if you don't self correct that immediately, then you're going to provide them with multiple opportunities to continuously um F around. I mean, I don't know how else to be nice about it when you're coming at it like that. But I just got to keep it real with you, because sometimes we sugarcoat so much stuff that we don't even understand what it's doing to us. But also, remember, I told you this is just that part that we see. What we don't see is the roots that come in and that creep down, and it makes us doubt ourselves. And so, remember, the benefit of the doubt, the benefit goes to them, the doubt goes to us. So then we start to judge. We start to doubt our own judgment in certain things. Not only that, is that doubt then becomes guilt, because should I do this, or should I not do this? Should I be nicer to them, or should I address the issue straight ahead? Then it dives a little bit deeper, and then it becomes this idea that you begin to abandon yourself, because it's now, I want to make sure that I'm not being rude or being nasty or being mean to people, because for some reason nowadays being direct hurts people. And so it's like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. But at the same time, while you're allowing them this lane of opportunity, to get away with some things, because you feel as though maybe you need that space, that you need someone to assist you and to help you, or whatever it is, whatever those thoughts are that you believe that you're in need of, you're providing that to someone else instead of providing it to you. And then you have this tendency then, of course, to now be in a place and be in a situation where you're not providing yourself with what you need, which becomes self abandonment. And I don't think people think of it this way. So you start to say, well, I do all these things for all these people. Because again, I told you it's a trickling effect. I do all these things for all these people, and people don't reciprocate that same energy to me. People are not helping me, I help them, I put this time over here, I do, it becomes all these other things, and it's a domino effect just by that one principle that you decided to live by, which was treat others the way you would like to be treated. But in essence, if you would understand that treating others the way you would like to be treated means that you have to treat yourself right first, and that you have to stop others from dealing with you. And this is one of those things that come up too, because people always say, well, you only people only do what you allow. And I know sometimes you can hear that and you're like, well, what does that mean? What is, well, that's not true, because I don't allow XYZ. Yeah, but that benefit that you gave them, that placed a little bit of doubt in your space, you could have immediately addressed that up front and say, hey, I don't like XYZ. And trust me, I understand it's difficult, because some of us have grown up as people pleasers, and there's a lot of other things that we have put in place, like a child should be seen and not heard, or sharing is caring, and there's all these other little tidbits that have been sprinkled around, that all add a little bit more flavor to this idea of self abandonment, and not listening to yourself, and not knowing yourself, and not embracing yourself and not caring and loving and all these other great things to yourself because it's I don't want people to feel a certain way. And at the end of the day, you have no responsibility on how someone else's feel. The only person's feelings that you can control is your own. And by controlling, by knowing, and sometimes you can't even do that, honestly. But by knowing that the only person you have control over is you, then that means you have to be the person to stand up and support what it is that you say that you're going to do. And this is where you hear a lot of people talking about boundaries and things of that nature. And I always say this, and I wanted to make sure I said on this video too, as that boundaries, the root word of it is bound, to be bound by. You are supposed to create a set of standards for yourself, for your life, and you create a set of principles, and you are bound to those principles and standards that you set for your life. And you have boundaries, you have parameters around what you will and won't take from people, not what people will and won't do to you, but what you will and won't receive. And with those boundaries, you stay bounded to that. And so when you see someone stepping over your boundaries, you say, stop, because sometimes you have to show people how to treat you. So you address it. Hey, I don't like this, blah, 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 whatever it is that you've strategized out that you're going to say. If a person does it again, then you learn or you implement whatever other strategies that you have for yourself, whether that is to walk away, to be done with the relationship, to address it head on again, whether it's to fight. Some people, and this is one of those things too that people don't talk about, not everyone is able to communicate. I really see, and I'm going to create a book because I know that's on my list of things to do. Um, we have to go through and learn how to communicate. Communication is a skill that is not really taught. Communication and listening. Because most people listen in order to respond, not listen to hear what a person is saying, not listening to be aware. Most people are communicating, and they're communicating from hurt. They're not saying what they really want to say. They are not fully expressing themselves and thinking that people should understand them based off of their perspective and not based off of a um the the real not sometimes the reality of a thing, but reality is always skewed based off of the glasses that you wear, the way that you see the world. So with that being said, um, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit later, probably on another one about what happened in the BCHG room last week. I mean this week on Wednesday. But anyway, that dealt with communication. So needless to say, we have to learn how to communicate with people. We have to learn what are fundamental truths for ourselves. We have to learn what we will and won't put up with, what are our non negotiables for our lives and our relationships with other individuals. And we have to be able to walk away because I think we say it all the time. And this is something that I've been expressing lately is that we know that people come in our lives for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And we keep trying to hold everybody in this lifetime area where they're not lifetime people. They're here for a specific reason, for you to be aware of, or to interact, or to help you progress, or to help you be cognizant of something, or they're here for a seasonal position. And you have to be the one to identify that and be okay with releasing people. And I think that we have an issue, a big issue with releasing people. We have a big what was the thing? Me and one of my clients was talking about this the other day. Shoot. Uh because not just the love languages, it was love languages and attachment styles. We have this big thing with attachment styles, and maybe that's something that I'll explore a little bit more in my upcoming videos. But we become so attached to people and not wanting to allow people to exit out and to leave and to go, to the point that people are becoming much more of a detriment to our lives than a benefit. And it's sad at a certain point. And those people no longer support the principles that our lives are on. And so I know I done went way out of left field on a lot of this. But I just, at least hopefully, if you don't caught the first piece of this video, you don't caught some things that stood out to you. Y'all write down in the chat. I'll come back on another video to address, whatever that is that y'all want to address. But like I said, y'all, this the last 2 days has been just so eye-opening. It's been so exciting to talk and have these conversations. We talked about principles. Today we talked about passions and how our passions have been diminished by the people that we have in our lives, right? Those people who we've allowed to linger on way longer than they should have, the people who don't support the things that we do, who tell us we shouldn't, who tell us that's not gonna be, that's not smart, or that's not this. And of course, I talked today about having different types of people in your lives and what these people have to offer for you, because you do need a adversary in your life. You do need someone who's going to challenge some of the things that you say and some of the things that you do. Don't get it twisted. You need that. But to understand who these people are and the roles that they play and why they play these roles, and to understand that not everyone is along for the journey that you have for yourself, and so those individuals will change as you progress as a person. But to build a community that's going to help you fully function and become the individual that you really see yourself to be, and that's very vital, very important. And that your passions, um of course, they will change as well as you progress as a person, but to understand that passions also bring along some struggle. Um, and it's okay. But are you going to struggle, or not even struggle, but suffering? Are you going to suffer and be more excited, and be living in your passions and your desires and things that animate you, things that fire you up? Or are you going to continue to struggle and be in this constant place of depression, anxiety, living life the way that other people tell you to live? This environment that makes you sick, because that's what's happening, because you're reducing yourself to something that you really aren't anymore. And so you're not allowing yourself to flow and to develop as an individual. And so you become stagnated. And just like your body, you're 70 to 80 something percent water, right? 78%, I think it is. But whatever it is, your body is water. And what does stagnated water do? It becomes mildew, it becomes disease. And so that's what's happening within the body as well. The energy becomes stagnated, your muscles start to deteriorate, and so many other things that happen just on an energetic level. And you're not understanding this, because you're not understanding that you are the one who's holding yourself up, because you're trying to live life based off someone else's rules and perception of what life should be. So, of course, that's the whole thing all by itself. And then tomorrow, of course, I'm going to be talking about persistence, and once you get into these areas, how you have to be persistent, even with myself and this new journey that I'm on. Some moments, there are moments of weakness where it's just like, oh my gosh, like, should I not? But having that team, again, as I stated before, that's going to help you, push you, and drive you into the passions that you've chosen for yourself. That's going to help you to identify what makes you the best version of yourself, or what strategies you can implement to keep you progressing as an individual. So I'm gonna leave that with you guys today. I wasn't gonna be too long, and hopefully wasn't too long-winded. But if you haven't already, I'm gonna be doing this. Tomorrow is the last day with persistence, but I'm probably gonna run this back as a master class for a little while and just develop this because I love it. And I love it. You But yeah, so principles, passions, and persistence, y'all check it out. If y'all see the link, I'm gonna try to add the link to down below in the description bar, or wherever that's gonna be. Make sure you already, if you have not already, make sure you click at the top, join my channel, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, so that you can know and be notified when I come on and have these mini discussions, when I post out different videos, because a lot is going to be coming up. I'm going to be getting to work, becoming much more persistent in my work ethics as well. But again, I'm going to run this back for a little while, because I think this is what my lane gonna be, and I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna adjust it, address it, and recreate as I go along. Y'all, later, y'all be seeing these posters that's up here will be posted back on the wall. Y'all, I'm really into the body, so y'all might see the body behind me. But yeah, y'all, let's get into it. So again, I love y'all as always. It's your girl Jamika, and I'm out. Bye.